Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Let you guys get up in here real quick. Let y'all join the party. Let you guys get up in here, man. Talk about this. What I seen on boxing scene. They they talking about Adam Kownacki versus Robert Helenius, man. And Helenius was not an opponent that I was thinking that was even available to fight Kownacki, man. And the talks were Brazil. Everybody was talking about Brazil, man. And Adam Kownacki is going to fight Robert Helenius. Now, right now, according to the article I seen on Boxing Scene, man, they're just waiting for the networks to just approve Helenius as an opponent. All right. Then I was reading that article, and they were talking about, that Brazil, his last fight was the knockout loss to Wilder, and that Helenius is at least coming off a win. And it's like, yeah, he's coming off a win, bro. But I mean, journeyman level guys, you know what I mean? That has, I think, dude had like under 20 fights or something like that. So yeah, it's a win, but it's against a damn journeyman, man. But I would have rather seen Brazil, even if he is coming off a loss, just based on the styles. All right. And Christian Hammer was another opponent that they were talking about. So, according to the article, it was between Brazil, Christian Hammer, and Helenius. All right. Let me see who up in here. Marquise Johnson, salute. Dominic Hardy, what's up? Official AJ, what's good, man? Official AJ says, why would they pair Helenius when Gerald just sparked him? That's a good question. But then they'll say this though, bro. They'll say, well, I mean, does it matter? Because Kownacki beat Gerald as well. You know what I mean? And Kownacki's last few fights were some pretty decent fights, man. He beat Charles Martin. He beat Gerald Washington. The fight over Kiladze, especially just seeing what Kiladze just did with F.A. Ajagba. You know what I mean? Um, the war he had with Areola. I'm talking about Kownacki now. The war he had with Areola. So this right here, man. I mean, Robert Helenius, man, and Kownacki had a chance to be on the Wilder Fury undercard. I get it from his point of view. His thing is, hey, man, I can fight. I can fight on free TV. More people probably tune in to watch a free TV than a pay per view, and I'll headline my own card, and it's at the Barclays, and I have a Kownacki, man. Believe it or not, he has a large following of Polish fans out there in New York. You know what I mean? They turn out to watch him. You know what I mean? So, and he beat Spilka as well in his last few 4 or 5 fights. You know what I mean? So, but Helenius, though, man, I mean, Helenius to me is at the tail end of his career. I forgot the guy last name who he fought. The guy's name is Yuri Bakoshkov. I can't pronounce dude's name. But anyways, those are two wins for Helenius that I thought could have been losses. That dude was pressing him, getting him against the ropes, and this is what I think Kownacki's going to do. He's going to pressure Helenius, get him against the ropes. Timber, he's going to fall down. I think Kownacki's going to go to the body. Helenius does have a decent left hook. He fights upright with the jab, right hand. He likes to fight upright like that. Wants to hold on the inside, but just like Duopa was able to get in on Helenius with pressure. I think Kownacki is Duopa times about 5 with his pressure. You know what I mean, and punch output and volume. So it's just a showcase fight, man. It's gonna be a showcase fight against a guy that's been in there with some names, and Robert Helenius. You know what I mean? Now, if this was the 2011 version of Robert Helenius or 2012 or something like that, then probably could be a different type of fight. But this version of Helenius versus Kownacki and the pressure, I don't think he's going to hold up. You know what I mean? See what y'all talking about, man. Renee Saucedo was good. Jay Jerk was popping, man. Official AJ says, you always say, how long we gonna give credit for Helenius wins or these other high level journeyman type people? Yeah, it's like, how much more credit we gonna keep giving guys for beating Robert Helenius and Marius Wax and not to say that those guys have 13 losses or nothing like that, but it's like, man, how many times you gonna play Ring Around the Rosie, you know what I mean, with the same fringe contender-esque bottom of the, fringe contender list guys, man. If anything, these guys should be fighting like the prospect level guys, man. And I look at Kownacki more of a contender at this stage. You know what I mean? Then also seen on boxing scene that Povetkin Dillian Whyte has came out. He put Povetkin on his hit list and all this type of thing. Guys he wants to fight in April. Now, according to Boxing Scene, I've seen an interview on there as well, or article on there rather. You guys go check out Boxing Scene today if you haven't, man. Some good little pieces on there as far as heavyweight news that we can use. But Povetkin now has shown interest in wanting to fight Dillian Whyte back. Let me say this about this Dillian Whyte Povetkin thing. First, what jumps out to me is this, man. When Ortiz was being mentioned to fight Whyte, or Whyte fighting Ortiz, so on and so forth, Whyte went on this big old thing about Ortiz is old. He's old. He's old. He's old. He's old. He's old. Okay, fine, cool. Now I know a lot of people. They say, "Man, Luis, come on, Mister Boxing, don't be naive. We know how it is when Cuban fighters come over here. Luis Ortiz at least has to be 67,000 years old." And I get it. I get it. You know, he was sparring when Jesus was crucified. I get it. I get all the jokes. But on paper, from what we know, he's around the same age. I think him and Povetkin's the same age. So that just makes me think like, well, what's the difference as far as his age thing when it comes to Dillian Whyte and who he wants to fight, who he don't want to fight? Okay, that's the first thing that popped out. Second thing that popped out to me, just style wise, it's a good fight. Povetkin versus Dillian Whyte, especially what I just seen from Povetkin fighting Michael Hunter, that he can go in there and pretty much put up a high work rate with a guy like Hunter that brought it to him. Hunter came out. I don't know if y'all remember that first round. Hunter came out there and brought it to Povetkin. Povetkin with hell, that dude held strong, and he outworked Huey Fury. Yo, these guys are like shit. Huey Fury is like what 14 years younger or some shit than Povetkin, and Povetkin was able to outwork him, bro. You know what I mean? And he was able to stay on the same work rate with Hunter, and Hunter can put out a high volume. You know what I mean? He can force you into a high pace, high speed type of fight. And Povetkin was buzzing Hunter, and he backed him up when he had to, and he was going shot for shot with Hunter, man. So this ain't gonna just be some just take over. I'm gonna fight you and stay busy until my title shot. I don't look at Povetkin like that for some of these guys. Now there's some guys I think that Povetkin will have real trouble against, and I don't think he would really have much of a chance of beating. Um, but those guys are fighting each other next month. But when it comes to some of these other guys, they can't just think that they will go in there and just handle Alexander Povetkin like he's just some easy guy to handle. He is long in the tooth at this stage, but what I saw from him in the fight with Hunter, he still got a little bit left, man. You dig what I'm saying? That dude got a little, and even in his last loss to AJ, yo, he has some good moments against AJ. Povetkin still got a little bit left. Not probably enough to be champion or any of that, but the dude got some left, man, and he got a damn left hook that you have to respect. This is going to be the battle of the left hooks, Povetkin and Whyte. And if Whyte comes in out of shape, he comes in lethargic and lackadaisical and all that type of thing, I think Povetkin can upset him, man. It's going to be a good fight. This ain't going to be some easy peasy stepping stone for Dillian Whyte. So I will look, even though Whyte doesn't fight some of like, my knock with Whyte was just him not fighting Brazil and fighting Ortiz when the fights were getting offered to him. However, with that said though, some of his opponents are still some solid opponents on paper. They may not have been the opponents he needed to get closer to a title shot, in my opinion. But Parker's no fucking pushover, yo. Povetkin's no pushover, man. We can say what we want, bro, but them ain't just some easy fights for like 95% of the heavyweights. You dig what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I'm not saying Dillian Whyte is looking at Povetkin like he's some easy step over or some stepping stone, but I think some fans are just like, you know, looking at Povetkin like he's just some easy work, man. I don't see him being easy work for Dillian Whyte. Based on Dillian Whyte's stamina, based on I've seen him out of shape as hell in his last fight. I know he'll train for this fight, so on and so forth. But even when he is quote in shape, he still fades late in fights. He still gives it his all. He'll still throw punches back, but he fades. He'll huff and puff. He starts breathing hard, falling. He starts to get a little bit sloppy. He still has a fighting heart, but he does get a little bit sloppy. All right, so to me, Povetkin and Whyte, interesting fight. Interesting fight, man. Now back to Kownacki for a second, maybe before I read y'all comments and stuff. Uh, I want to see him fight like a Ajit Kabayel or a Oscar Rivas or something like that, man. I'm not really happy about the Helenius thing, man. I'm not. Um, Brazil would have been good. I mean, somebody like that, man, but not Robert Helenius, show. You know what I mean? Not Robert Helenius. Sure, maybe Luis Ortiz, somebody like that, man. But somebody that's on the this on the this on the way up as well. You dig what I'm saying? Now maybe him and his people, maybe they didn't think that the right opponent was available right now. Maybe they're just on some like they just want to showcase their fighter to his fan base. TV, he's going to be headlining, but it's just crazy watching Helenius to be in the headliner now. When I just seen him, he got stopped here in Minnesota against Gerald Washington 2 fights ago, man. And his last fight was a journeyman guy. So it is what it is, man. Let me see what y'all are talking about. Official AJ says Brazil fight made the most sense. I thought it did as well too, man, but I guess not, bro. Mala2243 says Whyte Povetkin is a great fight. Yeah, I think it's a damn good fight. Uh P Masciano, he says, salute, bro, new subscriber. I hope Whyte loses. I can't stand a cheat. Uh Renee Sosito says Fury going to sleep. My man Michael Johnson, boxing talking more. What's good, bro? He said Whyte versus Robert Budianoshes as the ass main event. Man, it's gonna, but bro, seriously though, it's gonna be a tough fight for Dillian Whyte, man. Fighting Povetkin though, this ain't gonna just be some easy fight for him, man. I wouldn't be surprised he fuck around and lost this fight, just based on their styles, man. Because he's gonna try to come and bring it, and Povetkin, at least from what I've seen, his last few fights. Now we can probably argue that Dillian Whyte is a more heavy-handed fighter than Hunter, but sometimes speed kills as well, and Povetkin was able to adapt to that speed. Dillian Whyte isn't nearly as quick as a puncher as Hunter. Whyte probably has more oomph on his punches, but shit, if Povetkin can see him coming and time him, man, I mean, look, bro, look, if Chisora was able to be relentless and win rounds and all that type of shit, I definitely think Povetkin can do it. It's gonna be a good one, man, as far as just the style matchups. Jay Jerk says, ain't shit, I'm just trying to maneuver on an Uber scooter, Mr. Boxing. Uh, Official AJ says, for the way Whyte has been looking, Povetkin is still a tough fighter for him. Yeah. Dominic Hardy says, Helenius, Watt, Price, etc. are all on the same level, older journeymen that don't have what it takes to beat world-class fighters. Yeah, and at this stage, bro, they probably need to get relegated to just fighting like guys, that are like those 10, 11 and 0 type prospects. Now, I know in their opinion, they looking for bigger paydays, so they don't mind getting in there with guys that are contenders, top 10 contenders, you know what I mean? But at this point, bro, it's like, I mean, how much more credit we gonna keep giving dudes for beating them? Let me see here. Y'all can probably hear my little nephew in the back. He gonna take over the live stream. My younger brother over here with his son. My little nephew up there crying. Let me see. Yes, official AJ. Man, bro, to some degree, especially if Povetkin was to win this fight, I still want to see Wilder versus Povetkin. I think Wilder will knock him out, but I still want to see it. I've said that a while ago when they were looking for an opponent for Wilder, and I was like, shit, man, enter Povetkin. I still want to see that, man. I was so hyped up for that fight, man. I did so many damn pre-fight videos, and man, I was hyped up for that fight, man. Then Povetkin ruined it. Allegedly, right? He allegedly had Meldonium, right? Anyways, the J. Roos theory says Whyte was in his best shape against Lucas Brown. I forget how much he weighed for that one, but I know he started to gradually just put on all this weight. He was coming like the high 250s and all that. To me, he was in his best shape versus AJ. I think he was like at 245. I don't have the weights in front of me, but I thought he was at 245 versus AJ. I like him 240 to 245. That like high 250s and 260s. Shit, his last fight he was 271. He weighed. I think he weighed more than Wak. I think he weighed more than Wak. And Wak is a guy that would usually come in at like 280 and the high 270s in the last few fights, man. You know what I mean? Yes, Ivan Lewis. It does sound like a mismatch, man. Right now, they're just waiting for the approval from the network, and I'm sitting here like, man, the network going to approve that as a main event? Now I know they may. See, the thing with Dom is they're going to go off of, well, he just got knocked out. was like the dude only lost 2 fights, man, to Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Yes, he did just get knocked out, but shit, everybody get knocked out. They fight Deontay Wilder, and damn near they get stopped damn near every time when they fight Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? So shit, you can't dock him points because he got stopped. Now it was in a viral KO of the decade type of fashion, but I mean, what? So I mean, shit. Dom, hey Dom, you listening, bro? Go and just fight a journeyman that's like 0-40. Just go fight him real quick to say, hey, I won my last fight, because that's what Helenius is doing. You know what I mean? His last win was against a complete journeyman. Not even like a Jamal Woods or Jonathan Rice. I'm talking about like a never heard of him. Like even I have never heard of him. You know what I mean? So I guess, man, if that's what we're gonna say, hey, I won my last fight. I mean, Vince, what's good, bro? Body Snatcher returns up in here. What's good, bro? Keeks the Culture Holic says, what's good, y'all? Oh, we just chilling, man. Black Cam TV up in here. What's good? He says, Kownacki versus Daniel Dubois. That'd be a good fight. Neutral Natural says, expect Dillian Whyte versus Christian Hammer instead. Well, Hammer is around because they threw him as a possible opponent for Kownacki. They had Brazil, Kownacki, and Helenius. So I wouldn't be surprised if Hammer got the fight with Whyte, but I want to see Whyte versus Povetkin, man. You know what I mean? My man Vince says Kownacki doesn't want to fight anybody. Whyte wants to fight old guys, just not Ortiz. Yeah, and I just was saying that too, bro. It's like he's an old man. Why would I fight an old man? He's old. He's old. He's old. He's old. But I'm gonna fight Povetkin next. And now, me personally, I have no problem with the Povetkin, but you can't be out here advocating and you can't be out here. You know what I'm saying? Advocating and um, putting up a front, campaigning as if like I'm not fighting an old man. I'm only fighting in prime guys, and then you go fight an old man. You can't be selective with which old man you want to fight. Either you don't want to fight old men, or you do want to fight old men. You know what I mean? And then some fans they, you know, disagree with me when we talk about Ortiz, but it's like, bro, everybody's always have an excuse not to fight him, man. Whether because he's old, whether because it's a high risk, low reward, or whether it's because there's no money in it. There's always an excuse, except for Deontay Wilder. He never had an excuse to not fight the dude. You know what I mean? But all these high profile dudes or higher profile heavyweights have an excuse. Jarrell Miller, Andy Ruiz Jr., 2016, they could have fought Luis Ortiz. They didn't fight Luis Ortiz because they said 4 to 5 weeks wasn't enough time, right? So insert Tony Thompson. Tony Thompson ended up taking the fight. And the fight was in DC. And you guys have heard me say this story before. When they were looking for an opponent, I'm the one that said he should fight Tony Thompson because it's in DC, and I know Thompson is that type of dude that'll take a fight on short notice. And about a week later, Tony Thompson got the fight. So that was a crazy prediction, man. I actually did a video about it too. That was crazy that it ended up being Tony Thompson. And nobody was even considering him, literally except me. And obviously behind the scenes they were. They didn't tell nobody, but I can't believe I got that one right. But regardless of that, though, there's always an excuse not to fight Luis Ortiz. There's always an excuse. It's hot outside. I don't take big fights in the summer. I only take big fights in the winter. Not the training camp isn't long enough. There's just always some lame ass excuse. Now it's he's too old. And I guess the next one will be he already lost to Wilder. You know what I mean? So there's always an excuse, man. Always. It just never fails. It's almost sickening, to tell you the truth. Yeah, Keeks the Culture Alcoholic. Like I was saying, now you just told me that Mr. Boxing, I went back and watched those fights with Kownacki and Joyce and Kiladze. Pretty entertaining. Yeah. Kiladze will give you some, like I told you, man, he's probably one of the better journeyman level type of dudes that'll give you a good 3-4 rounds, man. He'll move, stick, hit you with some, you know what I mean? Kiladze ain't that bad for the first 3 or 4 rounds, man. He's a tough, he's a what I call like a he's a dude that you want to use for your guy that you think can be a contender one day or for your up and coming prospect. That dude's a good test. So I'll throw him in there with the Jonathan Rices and the guys that I bring up that are on that level, man. And Kalazi been in some Wilder camps. He's been around, man. He's worked a lot in the wild card before. So Kalazi isn't just some dude. You know what I mean? He's been in some gyms getting some good work, man. He just can never win his big fights. Then where he worked with what's my man's name? Freddie Roach and all that. Tone Bangers up in this thing was good. St. Cruising was good, man. My man Tone Banger said Kownacki is fighting a stay busy fight, and Povetkin versus Whyte will be a slop fest. Yeah, I can see that happen, especially down the stretch, especially if Dillian Whyte starts to gas. I damn near think Povetkin has better stamina than Dillian Whyte, man. But if they both come out aggressive, that shit might come down to who lands the first left hook first. I think they have two. I think they're both of those guys have some damn good left hooks, Povetkin and Dillian Whyte. But that shit might come down to who landed the first leg left hook. Solid one, you know what I mean? Neutral Natural says Kownacki versus Helenius should be on FS1, not regular Fox. Shaking my head. Yeah, it's like a headliner, like Robert Helenius and a headliner in America on Fox. Wow. Oh, okay. The fuck? Let me see here. Ivan Lewis says 40 ain't that old for a heavyweight. Look, I've always said that heavyweights age a little bit differently, especially if you're a big heavyweight that likes to work behind his jab and slow the fight down to your pace. Then yeah, you can get away with it and do the Vladimir Klitschko, Larry Holmes type of thing. You know what I mean? Big George Foreman type of thing. But according to Dillian Whyte, though, you know what I mean? These guys are old men, or Luis Ortiz is an old man. L Dog, let me see. I thought he asked me something else. L Dog says, I actually want to see Herkovic versus Ortiz. I think Herkovic finishes Ortiz inside 6 rounds. Ooh, that's a big statement right there, man. I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure he'll finish him in 6. Um, I don't know about that one, man. I don't know. Yes, St. Cruz and Deontay has gone into fights hurt with no excuses, sick, all that shit, and then in fights get injured and don't say nothing. Arm, bicep ripped apart where you can actually see the shit. I know he went into the Areola fight with a big ass. They say he was in the garden, but we know, well, we know Wilder wasn't doing yard work. You know what I mean? Let's just put it that way. When he had that big ass scrape on his arm or whatever, like skin was missing off his damn arm, and he still went in there and fought. You know what I mean? Deontay Wilder has had troubles with his hand pretty much his whole career. Look, I remember doing a video, man, a few years ago, talking about like, man, how much does Wilder have, or how long will Wilder last being with these surgeries on his hands? You know what I mean? And that video didn't age well because he's done nothing but knock motherfuckers out in the last 3 years of me making that video. But I was just using logic though, man, because I know for a time, at least for one of his fights, he had to wear like an orthopedic Everlast glove. I remember doing a video on it, and that's what sparked me doing the video. Like, man, how much longer does he have? Because I know your hands is your main prize. You know what I mean? You need your motherfucking hands in boxing, obviously. So Wilder just continues to prove me wrong, man. Like, I don't know about a lot of y'all, man, but this man just keeps proving me wrong, bro. That's why I'm a big fan of Wilder, man. Like, the man he keeps proving me wrong. Whenever I think he's going to lose to Severn when he fought him for the title, he went in there and dominated. I didn't think he had a back foot game. He showed me it. I didn't think he used his jab effective enough. He uses it in ways where he's setting up his knockouts. I didn't think his hands will hold up because he, had to do the orthopedic Everlast glove. And he's knocking motherfuckers into Mars. You know what I mean? Like the dude is just proving me wrong, man. Vince says, or Body Snatcher Return says, what does this fight do for Kownacki? He seems to be very selective right now. Not a damn thing. It just makes him look impressive on national TV, bro. That's all it does. And say he beat Robert Helenius. That's pretty much it. Or if he wants to try to gauge his performance against Helenius to Dillian Whyte, Gerald Washington, Johan Duipa if he wants to do that. Gauge his performance against theirs and say, hey, I finished him quicker than Gerald Washington, or I dominated him better than Duipa did, that type of thing. Rather than that, I don't really see what they get out of this. If anything, this is Robert Helenius' chance to try to make a big splash. You know what I mean? And I like Helenius too, man. Uh, I just don't. I just don't think this should be no headliner, man. My man Cali up in here. I could have sworn someone man Cali. Cali Enigma, what's good, bro? Mark Wonderlink, what's good? Utah in the house. Okay, L Dog is saying he think the time is right for Ortiz to get picked off by somebody, being that Ortiz fought Wilder, and he believes pretty much that Wilder shaves years off your career after you get knocked out against him. Um, I mean, I mean, I guess it's how you look at it. I mean, shit, Gerald Washington has went on and he beat Helenius, right? Areola, I didn't think Areola still had anything in him to have the type of war that he had with Kownacki. You know what I mean? Now some guys haven't looked great since then after being knocked the fuck out. But shit, Luis Ortiz bounced back and looked. Well, some people thought he struggled against Christian Hammer, but Christian Hammer makes everybody uh, not look good. Shit, he did that to Povetkin as well. But I still don't. I'm still not thinking. I don't know. And I like Herkovic too, man. But I don't see Herkovic right now getting Luis out of there under six. I don't see that. But Renee Saucedo says Pulev stops Joshua. Nah, bro. I think Joshua beat the hell out of Pulev. Callie says L Dog has already shown his ass on my channel. Let's just say he has a lot in common with people who don't like minorities. It's crazy, man, how much attention that Herkovic is getting now. Cause I was, and I've said this so many times, but I did my first video on Herkovic in 2015 when nobody was talking about him. Nobody on YouTube was talking about Philippe Herkovic but me. And when I made the video, people were like, "Who the fuck is this dude?" Didn't know how to pronounce this dude's name. He was an amateur still. Now we fast 4 or 5 years, more people are talking about him, but I think some people are putting a little bit too much on it though. You know what I mean? I did say in that video 5 years ago that he will be I think that he will be a title holder one day at heavyweight. A real title, not some minor title. You know what I mean? And I still think that. I just don't think he's gonna do it right now. I still think he has a few more years till he gets there. But that's just me though. You know what I mean? Let me see who else in here. Big Boys Boxing. Ronald Finkley was good, bro. Big Boy Boxing says, you know much about this Russian fighting Keith Barr on the Shields um undercard. Yes, you are talking about. Fuck, man, what is that? I just did a video. Uh, it's gonna bother me because I just did a video about this, and it's in the title too. What's that dude's name? David. I forgot how to pronounce his last name, but yeah, you talking about the David dude who's gonna be fighting. Yeah, he's 18. I actually did a prospect watch on him too as well. Big boys. I know all about him. He's just a heavy-handed, another heavy-handed, 6'6", 250-pound dude. You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. Yep, Aptiv Datiev. Him. Yep. I did a video about that the other day, big boys. The House of Schultz, he says, yo, are both these fights made? Well, right now, the Kownacki versus Helenius, they're just waiting for network approval. They had Hammer, Brazil, and Helenius as the three possible opponents. Right now, Helenius is leading that, and they're just waiting for the network to approve it. All right. Then as far as Povetkin and Whyte, Whyte has came out, we know a few weeks ago, a week ago, whatever, putting out his hit list. Povetkin was on it. Povetkin has now answered that, and he has shown his interest of wanting to fight Dillian Whyte in April. All right. So I'm just giving a rundown of what was on boxing scene to today. They had both of those articles up, man. So I'm just giving my piece about it. Nah, Jay the Roos, I didn't hear about that. Michael Perry calling out Michael John White for a fight, for a backyard fight. That's crazy. All right, H Con. I appreciate you showing. I'm about to get off in a few minutes here, man. I just wanted to get, come on, give y'all some news you can use, man. Count Drago, I appreciate that $2 holla, man. He says most educated YouTuber on the heavyweight division. I appreciate that, man. Big Boys Boxing says Parker's opponent for February 29th in the US to be announced this week. Yep, I did a video on that too, Big Boys. I know he's gonna be on that Vargas card, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking the WBO may strip AJ and they're gonna have Usyk versus Parker for that vacant title. That's what I think is gonna happen. So I'm not expecting Parker to fight no major fight, no major big name. It'd just be a journeyman level fighter, maybe fucking Christian Hammer or something like that. Um, Redinko, somebody like that, and we'll go from there. And then I think him and Usyk may be getting on for that title. L Dog says I expect Parker versus Zhili Zhang or Charles Martin. Nah, I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they'll do that. I think they're gonna try to play it safe, probably. Hell yeah, Cali, go Vikings. Man, it's so hard being a Vikings fan, bro. This year's a Vikings fan, I wasn't expecting, but it's like the years I don't expect much, we get like an upset victory, at least one upset victory in the playoffs. The years where we expect a lot, we lose in the NFC Championship game. 2010, 2001, 1998. The 98 year, I still ain't got over that, bro. I still ain't got over us losing to the Falcons. When they was in a Dirty Bird and they had what was their running back name? Jamal Anderson and all that shit, man. And they were doing the Dirty Bird dance and all that. Bro, we was electrifying that year. The Vikings with Moss and Carter and Robert Smith and who did we have? Was it no Culpepper was 2001. We had Cunningham back there. Bro, we was explosive, man. And then we fucking Anderson didn't miss a field goal extra point all year. All year. Picks the NFC Championship game to fucking miss. And then 2001, we got just destroyed by the Giants. What was it? I think they beat us like 41 to nothing or some crazy shit like that. And then 2010, when Favre threw the interception against the Saints. A lot of bullshit calls in that one, man. But it's just rough being a Vikings fan, bro. It's rough. Man, it's rough. But uh I think shit the Niners, I think damn near lost all their big games this year, didn't they? I think the Niners was lost majority of their big games. They beat the teams they were supposed to beat, but they were losing majority of their big games. What I think about Porzingis, um, good player. You know what I mean? The big man. Kind of reminds me of Dirk a little bit. But I always think a big man should have a post game. But the NBA has changed so bad in today's game, man. I actually heard one of the what do they call the analytical guys? These motherfuckers give me a headache, man. Look, they make basketball so difficult nowadays, bro. I mean, come on, man. You don't need no fucking analytical guy out there to tell you how to play basketball, dude. I heard one of these dudes say that it was an analytical, and it was one of the NBA coaches that said that, yeah, because the guys on TNT were talking about this, Shaq and them was talking about this in Barkley. It was one of the coaches. He said that getting the ball on the block trying to score nowadays is a worthless shot. This whole notion of players are more skilled is bullshit to me. How can you be more yeah, okay, are guys more perimeter orientated? That's a better way to put it. But to say more skilled is bullshit. Because when I see these dudes catch the ball in the post, they have no skills. Footwork is all fucking funny. Can't do a jump hook. Can't do an up and under. Can't do a jab step spin move up and under late. Nothing in the post. Nothing in the post. So how are they more skilled? Is it more perimeter orientated? Yes. I remember back in the day, bro, if you were a 7-footer shooting jump shots, guess what they called you? Soft. Now, don't get me wrong. Patrick Ewing was great at mid-range jumpers. Karl Malone, especially later on in his career when he was just real bulked up top, when he looked like a damn bodybuilder, he had a very soft touch around the perimeter. You know what I mean? But this whole notion that guys are just better, bullshit, man. Bull fucking shit. Don't even know how to fucking do a jump hook, but you're more skilled. Get the fuck out of here, man. That's my basketball rant. Dribble the fucking ball 40 times before you get a shot up. Bro, I remember back when I played, man, back in my day, right? But, bro, 2, 3 dribbles at the most. If you couldn't get a shot up, if you couldn't get to the basket or create enough space to get a jump shot up, you pass the ball. Literally, dudes out there dribbling, literally, and I'm not even exaggerating, bro, 17 times before he gets a shot up. And James Harden is a terrific scorer, especially with the way the game is played now. Dude's damn near unstoppable because he can draw fouls. He has a good enough handle where he can blow past you. He's strong enough to finish in the paint. He has a floater. He has a step back that I think they let him travel, but double step backs and all this shit. But the dude can shoot free throws. The dude has it all. But 17 dribbles before you get a shot up? I guess, man. I guess. All right, let me get back to boxing, man. Callie Nima says, Giannis will be a beast when he becomes a warrior in 2020. We'll see. I don't know, man. I know, Milwaukee's a small market, man. I think they're gonna do their damnedest to keep him there. Punch quote, bro. I just seen on boxing scene, man. Yeah, it was Brazil, and now they saying Helenius is a front runner now. All thing they're waiting for is just the approval from the network um, to make Helenius final. But it's Helenius now, bro. It was between Brazil, Helenius, and Hammer, according to an article I just read on boxing scene. Keeks the Cultureholic says Harden travel all over the court. Man, that's just crazy, bro. Count Drago says any news on Cassius Chaney? Nothing as of right now. I'm all over the place with y'all comments, man. Let me see. Damn. Hey, y'all. I'm gonna just come back tomorrow, man. I appreciate y'all showing up today, but we're gonna be back tomorrow with it. Don't even worry about that. Don't even worry about that. We're gonna be back tomorrow, y'all. Until then, y'all be easy, man. I'm gone.